We're here with the dog in the background. Look at, he wanted to be in the shot.
Oh, he's so sweet.
It's been a hell of a week at rock and roll. We lost a lot of people. It seems like you always expect when you lose like 5-6 people in a week, and that's just counting the people who are nationally known, not even counting the other folks, right? I mean, there's so much more of the other folks that have passed away. But thank you. What happened there? She's stealing the spotlight, but we lost the dog. Okay,
was it trying to steal spotlight? Just trying to get both of us in.
Dog. But there he is, little bugger. Anyway, we've got, I don't know why it's not coming up. It should be coming up. Oh, there, you press it. You make sure the volume's down. Oops. That's the commercial. That's the commercial that helps us make a living. There you go. There's a lot of people on there. Happy Friday. Wish you could be on a better occasion. Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, who, of course, we lost Davy Jones in 2012. He was only 66. Peter Tork, 2019, he was 77. And Michael Nesmith, he was 78 years old. Mickey Dolenz is the only one left in the Monkees, but that was a big loss today. It was amazing. We had to go on live. I had just done an interview with Noel Mccalla, who was a gentleman who played with Mike Rutherford of Genesis for Small Creeps Day. He was the lead vocalist in that album. One of my favorite vocalists of all time. Not that well known, should be. And he's just released a new album. And I kept seeing messages come up back on my phone, which is on the side. And I thought, well, I can't answer it. I'm not going to disrespect my guests, but that's what was happening. David Lasley, who's better known for being the backup singer for James Taylor, he was 74 years old, but he's played with Chic, Sister Sledge, Randy Crawford, Neil Diamond, Aretha, Shaka Khan, Bonnie Raitt, Boss Skaggs, Ringo Starr. And then Steve Bronski, Bronski Beat, he was 61. Everyone remembers Small Town Boy. That was a big hit. And John Miles, of course, he was 72 years old. And his big hit was Music. Most people, if they don't know the song, would know the instrumental interlude, which was used in sports an awful lot. But Sympathy was an album that I loved, so I think it was from 1980. It was a huge, huge week of losing people. Hi, Shannon.
Hey, hi.
I'm just bringing everyone down here with news of what's going on.
A shout out, Maria Day says hi,
Maria,
Shannon, John.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
James says hello, everyone. Soulful Music 100. Good evening from Dublin, Ireland.
Hey.
And Craig says hello, you sexy kids. And Sierra says Dolenz is the last one left.
Yeah, Dolenz. Yeah. Mickey Dolenz. When I was a kid growing up, to me, Davy Jones was the lead singer because I paid more attention to him for whatever reason. But Mickey actually sang more of the hits, and he's the drummer, and he's the clown of the Monkees. And when we were doing the live stream today, a lot of people were saying, well, Mickey will probably go on, not as the Monkees, because, and I mentioned this afternoon, someone in the industry had told me there was an urgency to getting Mickey and Michael Nesmith on the road for this last tour, because it just ended 30 days ago, and now he's dead. But I don't know. People say stuff like that to me all the time. It doesn't mean it's true. So.
Hike with Mike says, hey, folks.
Hike with Mike, hi. Nice to have you on here.
Christopher 628, evening, everyone. Good. Hello from Dave, says greetings from Florida. I wish you both a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you. We don't say that enough. Happy holidays to everyone. We'll be coming on every Friday. What's Christmas fall on today? Do anybody know what?
I think it's a Saturday.
Is it? Well, we'll come on Christmas Eve for a short time. Not that, I think that's okay, just for a short time.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, love the name. With love from Naperville, Illinois.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I just watched Gremlins the other day with Hoyt Axton, who of course wrote Joy to the World. And I was telling Shannon, I said, hey, the father in Gremlins, he wrote Joy to the World. And she said, oh, I didn't know that, but I remember him being a singer, yeah.
Al says, good evening from Los Angeles.
Hi. Nice to have you on here. Thank you for joining us. We got our channel in the background there. Most TVs are smart now, even though I'm not so smart when it comes to a TV. But what a week it's been. Like I'll say it again, Michael Nesmith today, 78 years old. David Lasley yesterday, 74, even though I think he might have died before yesterday. Steve Bronski of the Bronski Beat, he was 61. John Miles, 72 years old. And of course, John Miles played with the Alan Parsons Project as well. Great voice, good friends. John Miles, I do believe, if I remember correctly, Alan Parsons produced John Miles' first album. So There you go.
Believing Rebel is asking, hey, someone is questioning the Steely Knives equals shout out to Steely Dan on your Hotel California video. Can you give me a source?
I didn't write that one. Jason Close wrote that article, so I'm not sure. I don't know. With the ones that Jason writes, we kind of put them on carte blanche, with the exception of certain artists. He'll do some things, and now and then Jason will get one or two things wrong, but so will I. You know, when I do stuff, it's not that he's. So I don't know.
Sierra says, what is the status of Omicron in Canada?
Oh my.
Well, we do have some cases here. It's not big yet in Canada, but it's they're saying it's highly transmittable.
More transmittable than any other one.
But so far, you don't want to push it too far ahead here, but that it's kind of mild to moderate cases they're seeing. So here's to hoping.
Well, we're a little concerned about it, but about the, you know, what were they saying in January, that they could be, at least in Canada?
Yeah, like up to high numbers.
I don't know if that's worst case scenario, but when I was talking to, for instance, with Noel Mccalla today, the singer for Small Creeps Day with Mike Rutherford, he's got a new album out. It's freaking amazing. I'll tell you more about it in the coming week and how to order it. And we'll play a track by track with it as well. He was just saying he can't believe that there was just some people who just, you know, they get it, and then they're deniers, they get it, and then they pretend they didn't get it. And the family finds out they got it, and they just don't want to be wrong. It's just, you know, there's been vaccines forever, man.
Well, now they're kind of saying with the
it's okay to get it.
Well, they're saying with the Omicron as well that, you know, the first 2 doses of the vaccine is great, but you kind of need that third booster to actually have some kind of immunity against it. So it's, so we'll see.
We don't know what our lives are going to look like, and you know, we don't want to be downers, but at the same time, just be safe. We are that way. Shannon has an autoimmune disease. Our autistic daughter, you'll probably hear her humming over there a little bit. She's 23. She has an autoimmune disease because of her seizure medication. Just by default, she has that. And I'm 61. I've got to watch that. Our son.
A very young 61.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh my, thank you. So Shannon just had a birthday, but we're not going to say how old she is because that's not. You can't do. You shouldn't do that. She's only 23. No, I'm just joking. You did get ID a few years ago. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, you got ID'd at the liquor store.
Oh yay!
Buying liquor for me. She's buying some scotch for me.
Marco says, hi guys from Seattle.
Hi. We love Seattle. One of our first trips we went to Cannon Beach in Oregon first. Our second trip was to Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Seems like a long time.
1997.
It's a lot of years ago.
I was single for a lot of years. I was getting over a breakup and just said I wanted to be clean. I said I'm going to meet her one of these days. I just want to be clean. I want to work on myself. I'm not in a hurry. And then someone wanted to set us up, and I said, nope, not interested. I'm doing so well being single. I love being single. I know who I am. And she got mad at me and said, no, you got to meet this girl. And I went, okay, jeez. So then I met her. That was it. I was hooked.
James says, watched a video recently on YouTube from this past tour. Michael was moving a little slow. I have to admit that I was a little concerned about him watching that video.
Really? I haven't seen any footage of the last tour. I tend not to watch the older acts. It's almost like I want to remember them. I haven't seen a lot of the Genesis one. Not that I wouldn't like it. I've seen some. I'd rather remember. I saw Genesis twice for the Duke tour and the self-titled album, the one with Mama. I hate that song. But I love Genesis, and I'd like to remember them that way, I guess.
Jane says, Linda Price says, hi from Michigan.
Hi, Linda. I hope you're doing okay.
And Jane says, hola de playa.
Hermosa, Costa Rica, Pura Vida. Okay, that's a lot of happy times there.
There's a lot of goodness wrapped up in
a lot of goodness. What the heck?
that sentence.
Someone was asking me the other day, okay, I posted something in German. Why did you take it down? And I went, I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea. It's not like I'm not against German. Actually, I've had more friends who are English and German than any other country in the world. But and I love the Germans, but I had no idea what this person was saying. I said, if you have to put it in, if I can't translate it, because some people are saying some crazy, really crazy things. We're lucky we don't get a lot of it, because I talk to my cohorts who also do this sort of thing, and we'll compare notes, and they'll go, oh, they're going after us. So what? They don't really come after me very much. I mean, I do my homework. I don't ruffle too many feathers. I don't start rumors. So they're kind to me. But now and then they won't like someone I interviewed. They'll go, oh, that guy's a jerk, or that kind of stuff.
Sue was saying Michael.
Oh, like the Elven Parts, yeah.
Was the first VHS videotape she
That was
bought back in the day.
That was an adventurous project, huh? Yeah. Beatlesque.
Hike with Mike says, I don't like to watch acts past their prime. I prefer to see them and remember them when they were in the zenith of their careers.
Yeah, Mike, I agree with you. Like I said, it's hard. I wouldn't pay. I mean, if someone said you want to go see Genesis, would we go see them for $500? And she's more the invisible touch, because Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shannon's almost 11 years younger than I am, so she. When I was growing up in the 70s, Shannon wasn't born. No, I'm just joking.
What?
No. But she was, how old were you when I graduated? You were 9?
When you graduated? I would have been 9 or 10.
Yeah, I didn't date her then, so that's
you graduated in
in
79, right?
Yeah.
So I was 9.
I didn't date her then. I waited till 97. We were adults there. At least she was an adult at that time.
Jamie says hello from Indonesia.
Hey!
Hi.
Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate that.
And Fraser says, hope you guys are doing both well. All the best from England.
Yeah, thank you.
And Coghill said, did you ever see the Monkees ever going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Do you ever see them going?
Someone was saying today, oh, now that he's dead, they're going to get them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the problem with, I think they should expedite artists who are at that age. They really should. I know they're trying to balance it all out, so we have someone from over here and someone from an R&B performer over there. I know what they're doing, and it pisses people off every single year. But they're making they're making a huge mistake. The more they do that, the less relevant the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. Obviously, I'm not a voting member. They never asked me.
Julian says, hello, Shannon John from Chile.
Hey, hi.
It's nice to see people from all around the world tuning in. We're never exactly quite sure about the time frame that we choose to go on, because we want to try to make sure we cover people in different time zones, right? So.
Yeah, and now that we're out in the east, because we were in Calgary, Alberta, which is mountain time, it was easy for us to go on at 8 o'clock there. We weren't in the middle, but at the same time we thought, well, let's go on at 7 or something. But now we're in the east. We're not Eastern. We even passed that. We're in Atlantic time. And so we came on, 9, a little after 9.
Yes.
We had to take why we waited so long, we had to take the dog out, you had to go poo, we had to go, it was just a thing. Anyway, to go back to this week in rock and roll, again, we lost Michael Nesmith today, who was 78 years old. The Monkees, David Lastly, who was mostly known as James Taylor's backup singer, even though he sang with a lot of people, Boss Skaggs, Ringo Starr, Bette Midler, Bonnie Raitt. He was 74 years old, great voice. I saw him in concert in 92. I kept saying 91 in the video, but it must have been 92. Steve Bronski of Bronski Beat, Small Town Boy, he was 61. John Miles of Alan Parsons Project fame, and of course, his hit music. He had a lot of songs that were great, but just because you don't have a lot of hits don't mean you're not that. Anyway, he was 72. Sympathy is a great album. Look up Sympathy, John Miles. It's not on Spotify, which is sad. You have to find it on YouTube, but great album.
Hike with Mike said, love the Hotel California video you posted earlier this week.
Thank you. That was written by Jason Close. That channel, we were hiring Jason to do an awful lot of stuff, but that we're having to write a lot of things on there because that channel's still building, right? So it's hard to put a lot of money in a channel when it's not making it. Like this channel does well. Rock History Music does well. I mean, we're not rich by any means. We still have to watch it, but this channel, is doing well enough so that we work out of the house. You know what I mean? And I have a radio job, which I do in my basement.
Teddy Bates says, have you heard the new lineup of Journey? They sound great. Hi from New York City. God bless you both.
Whatever Journey, same back to you. Whatever Journey does, if Neil's happy with it and Jonathan's happy with it. There was a picture that Jonathan posted with his wife of this pastor who was spreading a lot of misinformation concerning COVID, who just died of COVID. I kind of felt that he was a little misguided with that, but the other side of that was his friend, and to both of them, I felt for that, but at the same time, there was a part of me going, is anybody going to say this pastor is spreading misinformation like crazy? But no one did, because he's dead, and I kind of stepped back and I went, he was Jonathan's friend, and that's the way it goes. I mean, when I talked to Jonathan Kane a few years ago, he was pushing the party line, and I went, we're going to leave that alone. His wife worked for President Trump, and I went, just let them be, let them do their thing. And this is not what this interview is about. But when they posted that picture of the party, I went, God, he probably got people killed, this pastor, by spreading misinformation. Anyway, that's my beef of the week.
Sweet Savage says, rumor has it that
Mike Portnoy
is going to be in Rush.
No, there's no rush. It's not gonna. They've been spreading. Mike Portnoy has been probably one of the biggest names spread around, but it won't be Rush. They will not call it Rush. They'll call it Lifeson, Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson or something. But I don't think they'll call it Rush. We had an interview with Andy Kern, who was the A&R guy for Rush. And of course, he's a rocker in his own right, with Coney Hatch. And we were talking about the fact that I said, how did Neil Peart's illness not get out? He said, because, he didn't want it to get out, and he's earned that respect, and people didn't. That's why everyone was so shocked. Oh, I'm smelling cornbread.
Yes, I'm making it. So if the buzzer goes off, I'll have to jump up. Johnny says Mike was a true eccentric musician, trapped in a pop band for a while.
Yeah. Well, and they weren't given their due in the beginning. They were playing. I mean, it was Don Kirshner's big, thing. The TV show. What was more important, the TV show or the band? Was it really a band? Were they playing their own instruments? Was they writing their own songs? And then they slowly became more legitimized. Those first 4 albums, I think 3 or 4 went 5 times platinum, or at least the first 3. A few #1 hits. Neil Diamond penning a few, that makes a big difference. But they had to make it in their own right, and people started respecting them, and they started hanging around. Lauren Heights, they were hanging around with Mama Cass and Stephen Stills, who of course auditioned for the Monkees. They were all part of that group, and they were welcomed in that group, especially Peter Tork. I think Mama Cass was in love with him.
Rob says, hello from Sudbury, Ontario. I remember watching the Monkees TV show back in the day. They were a funny bunch of lads. They
were, well said, well put. Funny bunch of lads. It was hard not to smile looking at that. I mean, if you were really jaded and you couldn't be, if you were hard, you wouldn't like it. I mean, I can see that. But as a kid, it was fun to watch. That monkey, what did they call the monkey mobile? What was that? Was there a name to it? That was a crazy car.
JT Shark, hello from Wales.
Hey, JT, how you doing, man? Nice to have you back. Hope you're doing okay.
Julian says, do you have any historical highlights from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that you can remember?
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No. I'm not a big fan. I can understand it's there. It's one of those things that I find is harmless. Someone just wrote a thing, and they were talking about Drake withdrawing his Grammy nomination. And the fact that are award shows less relevant? Do people like Drake, does he need those things? Will more artists withdraw their nominations from award shows like that? Because is it really something that's relevant anymore? And I don't watch award shows mainly because that's not my music. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is another thing. It's a moneymaker, really. It's just it's there to make money first. That's what it's it's like a political party in that way.
Fraser J says, I vote for a John Beaudin Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I've never happened. But thank you. It's very kind of you. I don't think I'll ever get recognized for any of the work that I do, but I haven't been working at this level long enough in my career. I've been in broadcasting 38 years, but there's never going to be a point, and nor should there be. I know I have colleagues who have done so much more than I've done. I've just basically pedaled to the metal in the last few years.
David May asked, do you like the Guess Who?
I do. We're trying to line up an interview with Randy Bachman right now. Randy, I think, had he was dealing with a bout of something. He's okay, but he was ill, and so we're going to. As far as I know, he's better now. We'll probably try to set something up next week.
JT Shark said, I was surprised Nesmith and Torque didn't like each other. They were the only musicians in the band.
Well, he didn't like Davy Jones either. Nesmith had a problem with Davy Jones as well. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, there was a thing with Peter Tork, and yeah, they were with the. Mickey Dolenz learned to play the drums. I mean, I don't know how much drumming he did in the beginning, but it was studio musicians.
Midnight Elite Company's asking if you're a fan of Steve Gaines.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me. A lot of times they'll come up with. They'll say, "Hey, do you like Joe Bonamassa?" And I go, "Well, yeah, sure." And it's mainly because my friends like him. Leonard Skinner was another one of going, yeah, I've never bought a Leonard Skinner album, but sure, they're not a bad band. Politically, I don't go with them, but I don't listen to Leonard Skinner for politics and, there's that kind of stuff.
Oh, the Monkey Mobile is what the car was called.
Oh.
Monkey Mobile, the Pontiac GTO.
Yeah, that's what I called it. So, but I guessed. I mean, you by default said it's a Monkey Mobile. It's like the Batmobile, right? I look like a cat burglar tonight. Look, I'm ready. After this, I'm just going to put a little cap on, a little French toque, and
when I wear like black pants and a black sweater, what do you call me?
Cat burglar. Cutest little cat burglar everywhere. People would just go, "You going to rob me? Oh, you're kind of cute. Come on in. Come on, I'll feed you some victuals."
Johnny Too Bad says, I always get a kick out of the story as told by Peter Fonda that the money generated by the monkeys helped to fund the film Easy Rider. No, that's karma.
Well, yeah. I've never seen Easy Rider all the way through. Ever. There's a few movies. Sound of Music I've never seen all the way through.
Oh my
I always
gosh,
catch part, and you love that. The hills are alive.
Well, you actually got me into It's a Wonderful Life. And so I will, maybe this year we'll sit down and I think it's like 2-3 hours.
Well, the Von Trapp family.
But it was good, very good.
I always catch the last part of it when they're running away and, are the Nazis going to get them? Are they not going to get them?
You like that's good enough, right?
Well, yeah, Christopher Plummer, man, he was the man. He was the man. Julie Andrews, everyone was. I remember when she had her variety show or whatever she had in the 70s. She'd go on there and she was wearing these tops, and I'd be like, I don't want to make light of this, but when school teachers ask their kids, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
School teachers will ask their students to go do something bad, and you can tell because they're like they got donut eyes. They're just transfixed. They'll do anything. And when you're at the height of puberty, you can understand why they do that. Well, Julie Andrews, when she was on TV, I remember thinking she was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I was just, Julie Andrews would have been my 7th grade teacher, and she told me to go rob a bank, I probably would have. I probably got demonetized by saying that. Oh no! Okay, now I have to read things. Oh, Teddy Bates, David Lastly wrote, "You Bring Me Joy," things by Anita Baker. Oh, cool.
Navigate.
I didn't know that. Dave says, when bands like Toto aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or Triumph, makes it a joke. The Boys in Toto have written and played hundreds of songs. I agree. I think they'll get in. I don't know when. How was it?
Perfect.
Yay. Morrow, see? Hello from Toronto. If you had a chance to attend the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, no, I'd go if I was in Cleveland. Of course, I'd visit it.
He has and says it's worth the trip. Cool.
Wasn't Frank Zappa in one of the Monkeys episodes? I don't know. A Hike with Mike. Or Richie. I got to know Richie Furay, Buffalo Springfield, and Poco over years. Nice guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's the example I always give as a Republican. I go, I'm very liberal. I'm not a Democrat because I'm liberal. I'm a Canadian. But I always give Richie Furay and Mark Farner as examples of good old-fashioned Republicans that I love talking to because we don't mix it up. they're nice men. I don't go there with, but whenever I tell people who are Democrats or liberal about talking to a Republican, I'm going, I talk to a lot of Republicans and I get along with them, you know.
David says you guys should do a Sonny and Cher tribute.
Oh, I got you, babe.
That actually might be good to go as Halloween.
Yeah, I just have to go like that, just shave this off.
Just keep my dark hair.
Navigate.
Raymond says we need an update on Aldo Nova.
I tried to get an interview with him, and he wasn't at the time a priority for our channel because we hadn't gone into the 80s yet. And no disrespect to him, we just hadn't done a lot of 80s stuff. But since then we have. I sent him the information. He says, "Who are you?" And I went, "Oh, well, I do this website, I do this channel." And I sent him the information. I said, "Just get back to me. If you're interested, get back to me and we'll set up an interview." He never got back to me. So I thought, it's okay. He's got the right. No.
Quarantine Reagan fan Tim says Davy Jones was a ladies' man. Maybe that was why Mike didn't like him, because all women like Davy instead of him.
Maybe. What time we have? Well, okay. What?
Davy Jones.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Alan says hello from
Winnipeg. What's the temperature in Winnipeg right now? Because everyone likes to make fun of the temperature. But I have a friend in Miramichi, where I'm from, which is northeast New Brunswick. We're in the south of southeast New Brunswick right now, where we live in our new house. And he's always saying, "Oh my God, you're gonna freeze." I'm going, "What are you talking about? We came from Alberta. We know what cold weather is."
Like
he's always going on. I'm going, "Why are you going on that we're gonna freeze this winter? It's not any colder than Alberta." But somehow he has this. He can't change his file. So here I am talking about Winnipeg, Manitoba. I can't change my file, but what's that anyway?
Janelle says, "Hey, John and Shan, I loved your Dale Dragon tribute. I saw the Captain Tennille in concert in 1978. Tori Tennille was always an underrated singer. She was the top of her game in 1978.
Yeah, I think she's dealing with, and I don't know, but someone had told me that she's feeling her age lately. That's all I'll say. And she did see. If any of you have seen my wall, in my mother's house, I drew a wall with all the band logos. I know that she saw the logo because she retweeted it on one of her pages a few years ago. I said, "Well, there's Captain Tennille. I lost my street cred," and I went. But then I always say, "I love Captain Tennille. I just love that band. Love them." And I was listening to Led Zeppelin at the time and the Captain Tennille.
Navigate.
James says Michael brought Zappa on the show for a end of show segment.
Oh, I didn't know that. I might have known it at one point. I don't know.
Hike with Mike says at B40, Billy's career tanked when he did the video Rock Me Tonight.
Navigate.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yeah. Well, Billy Squire,
Navigate.
I think there was problems with figuring out what Billy Squire was. And some of those videos, I remember being at a party once and someone said, "He's really flamboyant." I went, "Well, who cares? You know, like so is Mctaggart on stage." But I don't know why that confused people so much, you know. And someone had said, "Oh, he's gay," and I'm going, "I don't care. I don't think he's gay, but I don't care." But I think there was something about, and it's the Frampton run into that one with "I'm in You" and the shirtless thing. And I remember going, "What's the big deal? I like the album "I'm in You." It was a different side of him, but Billy Squire is the same thing. You know, I continued listening to him. It's interesting what people will take. People say, "Oh, Billy Squire, he's Zeppelin-ish," or, you know, because he has that look and slightly into that vein a little bit. And then he presented himself in a slightly different way. I really feel that's strange. I remember going, "I like him," you know. I had a friend who stopped listening to Elton John, one of my best friends, for years when he found out Elton was gay. I'm going, "What? Really? Does that change the music? I don't care." You know, I mean, what? He doesn't ask me what I'm doing at night. Like, what?
Navigate.
What the hell? Who cares? But that happens.
Jubilee.
I'm not saying Billy Squire's gay. I think that's what people were.
Jubilee Helix says, "Hi, new here. Hi, welcome." Maria says, "I like your Christmas tree. Thank you.
Come on over here. Nice Christmas tree. It's like 8 feet tall?
Johnny Too Bad says the Monkees and Frank Zappa made an appearance in the film Head in 1967. The screenplay was written by Jack Nicholson and directed by Harvey Korman.
You're a historian. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. People always think, I mean, even though this is my job and we know a lot of this stuff, it's some of it we don't know. That's why I ask you to give me questions when I interview people, because a lot of times you come up with better questions than I would have. And there's always different sides to an artist, and I can't know all the sides. But now and then someone will give me some goodies like that. I'll go, yeah, thank you.
Denise says the sweetest Monkey song is I Want to Be Free.
There was, what was it today? A few people were balking at a couple of Monkey songs. I always find it interesting when Monkees fans, or any group fans, they argue with each other. Oh, how could you like that? Well, you're always right. You can't, you either like a song or you don't. I know I've said that so many times, but you can't tell someone not to like something. If they like it, they like it. You know, CNN pop-ups are coming up here.
Navigate.
Morrow says David Clayton Thomas retired today. Did you hear about this?
No.
Navigate.
No, I didn't know that. I tried to get him. I had one of my good friend's sister was married to him for a while. I'm not sure what. She kept telling me, I'll get you an interview. I thought that was a bad breakup. How can you get me an interview? What's going on?
Thomas says, hello from Iowa.
Navigate.
Since you spoke with Mark Farner, you should interview Don Brewer.
I did.
Drummer of Grand Funk.
I did the first time I talked to Mark. I actually talked to Don Brewer first. And then I thought, when he said fans, he had said during the interview that fans were okay with the current version of Grand Funk. And I went, yeah, that's not true. There's no way. It's kind of like Phil Collins not being in Genesis and one of the Tony or Mike saying, "Oh, the fans prefer it this way." No one would believe that. So I contacted some people that I knew who played with Mark, and they got back to me right away and said, "Yeah, of course." I didn't even say Don Brewer had said that. I just said I'd like to do an interview because I wasn't sure what was going on, and it was really nice. But then we put them back to back. Look up Don Brewer, Mark Farner, Rock History Music. You'll find them talking about the same subject, side by side, even though they're not in the same room. It's a different phone call. So I don't think I talked to Don Brewer again. Nothing against him, but he's drinking Kool-Aid, man. He's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Hike with Mike says Elton John's 70s work was epic. Great soundtrack for the 70s.
The band was just epic, when he had Davy Johnston and he had Nigel Olsson and Dee Murray and Ray Cooper. That was the best Elton John band. And then Caleb Coy came back, for the first time since the early days. Roger Pope came back for Rock of the Westies and Blue Moves. And to me, that was a rockier band, which I liked, but the perfect drummer for Elton and the perfect guitarist is Davey and Nigel on drums. I mean, Nigel's an amazing drummer. He just took a picture with Jason Scheff, and Nigel's not a big man, and he just looked like a little elf. He looked so cute. He's just a joyous man. I hear he doesn't talk a lot during interviews, but I'd love to talk to him. I know who the gatekeepers are, so I've got to track them down because at one point it'll be too late,
Loris F says, good day from Sydney.
Hey.
Hi. Johnny Too Bad says, I'd love to see an interview with David C. Thomas.
Navigate.
Who's David C. Thomas? No, why is that not ringing? Who's David C. Thomas? Why is that not ringing a bell? Someone tell me who that is.
Michael says, have you ever interviewed Glass Tiger and Paolas?
Well, I was in a meditation group with Paul Hyde's then wife. She's the girl with Eyes of a Stranger in the video for Eyes of a Stranger. That's her. I forget what her name was. Was it Teresa or Mary or? Anyway, she had told me. She said, well, when the music wasn't paying the bills, Paul Hyde would do stucco. He would just go out and do, because he was good at it, and he would just do that, And they used to call it celebrity stucco.
Pottery.
That's what she said. Yeah, she was so funny. And Glass Tiger interviewed when I was syndicating a Canadian show called the Cross Canada Report, which was on 42 or 46 stations across the country. And I got an interview with them during a photo shoot downtown in Toronto. I was so nervous, it was insane. I still have the interview on the reel. I'm afraid to listen to it. I was so scared because I'd only been on radio for 3-4 years.
Floyd the Barber says current Grand Funk lead singer Max Carl is a great singer.
He
Second
is.
chance with
Yeah,
38
special, yeah.
But he's no Mark Farner. I mean, it took 2 guys to replace him.
He has such a soulful voice. I remember listening to Second Chance, and I bought that album thinking, wait a minute, that's not 38 Special that I know, but I really like that song. It's such a, he's a big guy, you know, so what time we got? 8:42? What is it?
At 9.
Oh, David Clayton Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, I would, whenever people, you know when they write down Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and they just basically use the initials, that just, I always look at that and go, oh, come on, I'm so bad at that. What's that mean? I'd love to talk to him. I reached out to him once, like I said, and his ex-sister-in-law tried to set me up, and I kept going, well, you guys aren't good with each other. How are you going to set me up with him? He probably doesn't even like you. But anyway.
A.L. Fla, fun fact, different drum, Linda Ronstadt and Stone Ponies, a song written by Mike Nesmith.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Back in the old days, and I like the fact that when Glenn Fry and when part of the Eagles were backing up Linda Ronstadt, and they said, well, we're going to go on our own, and how positive she was about it. She said, no, please do. They weren't pissed. She wasn't pissed off. She just said, no, I understand that. I would want to do that if I was you. There's someone I'd like to interview. I have a few colleagues who have talked to her recently, and she sounds like she likes to talk, you know. Someone had mentioned, she didn't mention Andrew Gold in her book, though. I found that interesting because Andrew played with her for so long. And Andrew certainly talked about her when I talked to Andrew Gold a few years before he passed.
Al Broderick said, I saw Grand Funk with Burton Cummings 7 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Must have been it good.
Well, someone asked about the Guess Who all ago, and you know, I mentioned Randy Bachman and not Burton Cummings, but when I talk to, hopefully it will happen with Randy, be my third interview with him, I'll ask him who the gatekeeper is for Burton. I've been trying to get Burton off and on for a few years now. I've emailed him and nothing ever comes back. I tried for David Lee Roth this week, and they said, his manager got back to me and said he's not doing any interviews right now. And I tried for Neil Sedaka, because Neil Sedaka was doing a lot of Facebook stuff, and I've always wanted to talk to Neil Sedaka. And his manager said maybe in the new year, or whoever that is, this gatekeeper. We always call them, in radio, we always call them gatekeepers, because it's like whoever guards the gate can get close to the artist, you know. Anyway. The gatekeeper. I talked to Ray Williams, who of course introduced Elton John to Bernie Taupin, and I said, Ray, who's the gatekeeper for Elton John? He said, well, let's talk, you know. But I got busy and Ray got busy. Ray just recently got a hold of me and just say hi and happy holidays, but I'll get back to him. It's so weird when I think about the guy who introduced Elton John to Bernie Taupin knows who I am, and once just called me out of the blue just to chat. I'm going, God, man, and Ray, and we interviewed him together live one night. He was such a nice guy, and he's honest, and he didn't want to say it, and he didn't want to say it. The fact that Jerry Rafferty couldn't go on stage unless he was drinking a lot, and he was just that type of guy. I mean, you know, what slowly took his life is his drinking problem, and you can differentiate the two. You know, you can say, you know, it's Jerry Rafferty, man. Even the new stuff that he released, you know, posthumously, it was good, but you can't tell the story of Jerry Rafferty without talking about the fact that he had a major drinking problem. I mean, it's sad because I loved him so much. Would he still be here? We don't know. You know, luck of the draw sometimes.
Fraser J is asking, what does 2022 hold for rock history and music?
New themes. We're trying to find ways of getting. I know a lot of people who do what we do. They buy hits, and that's okay. What they'll do is they'll advertise their channel, and they'll you know, someone who's doing the same thing as me will get 64,000 hits for a similar interview, and I'll get like 3,000. And then I'll look a little deeper into what's going on, and I'll realize, well, they're smart. They're
Puzzle.
so one of the things we don't want to do is buy hits, but we want to advertise the channel.
Mm-hmm.
We want to advertise and do a new trailer. The intros will be logos will be the same. I love the logos. I'm never going to change them. I don't know how many more years I'll be doing this anyway. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Maybe 5. You know, by the time I retire from this channel, we'll have probably 5 years of interviews in a can. So ready to rock. So you know, we'll do that, and we've got a lot of interviews we haven't put out. Look, there's me coughing and on delay, coughing like an old fart. What the? Where's my teeth?
Seriously, you can make a special best of 2021 YouTube episode.
Yeah, I know, but we were just putting together people who died in 2021, and that's just an arduous job. You just go, oh my, that's just, you just want to put them up, team, this person, and then you say, well, you got to say how they died, because everyone asks, well, how they died? And I can understand that. We were doing one for Nail Sheet, the other channel, of artists that died, like actors who died, and I'm going, oh my. You know, that's a lot of work for what, that'll be 5,000 hits for a fairly new channel, or a channel that doesn't do that well. So that I'm just being transparent. That's the kind of things we look at. Now I understand why YouTubers will come on, they'll say, if this is successful, we'll do a part 2. And I used to say, why would you say that? Of course they have to say that. You know, we did Australian Artist part 1, In Excess was going to be in part 2, but the video got 2,000 hits. I'm going, that's way too much work for 2,000 hits. So just so that you know, that's kind of how a YouTuber has to look at it. I'm going, if this is not successful, we can't, you know, if we can't sell this house, we're not going to build another one, right? Like a builder would, right?
Johnny says, I loved your interview series with Felix Cavalier.
Cavalier, yeah.
He was a local hero for us kids growing up in lower Westchester County in the 60s.
He comes up all the time in interviews. He's always coming up in interviews, and like I think I said to him when I talked to him that someone once described the Rascals and the Young Rascals as the American Beatles to me, because of the amount of hits they had and the amount of influence they had. But no one wants that title, I mean, because the Beatles are the Beatles.
Laura says, thanks for the shout out. Should interview Peter Garrett, lead singer of Midnight Oil. New album and touring next year. Had a huge world tour 3 years ago. Yeah, and went into politics, which I think a lot of people knew he would. I don't think anybody was surprised when he did that. Speaking of, we were talking about big guys like Hoyt Axton. We were talking about the lead singer the new singer for Grand Funk, who's in 38 Special. He's a big guy too. Sure, I'd be open to it. I have to. I'll write that down so I don't forget my little notes. I'll see if I can do that. I don't know how well he do on the channel. That's the unfortunate thing with this channel. There's certain people I'll interview, and then I'll know right off the bat that, you know, these are great artists, but for whatever reason they don't, you know, connect. The harder the rocker, the more it connects on this channel. Steve Lukather, it's gold. Steve Lukather is a gold mine. Ian Anderson, can't go wrong. John Anderson, amazing. But now I'm interviewing people, I'm going, well, I want to interview them. And, you know, I might get 100 hits, but they should be on this channel, right? And like a label used to do a prestige artist, you know, with Bonnie Raitt was a prestige artist for a while. So was John Hyatt. They were on the label, they weren't selling an awful lot, but the quality of the music was so good, the label would go, no, they need a label. So I'm doing that with interviews, right? Ernesto says, has there ever been a Canadian band that you know of that got censored in Canada? Censored? Yes. Oh, I don't know about censored. I know people had problems with the Bare Naked Ladies in the beginning because of the name, and I kept thinking, you know, in a couple of years, no one will say Bare Naked Ladies out loud and think literally of Bare Naked Ladies. I'm interviewing Dean Mctaggart, who was the lead singer of the Arrows, next week. And Dean has always been a hero of mine because he wrote some stuff for Atlanta Miles, but he was a big songwriter. And those 2 Arrows albums, for any Canadians listening, were amazing for me. Some of my favorite albums of the 80s. And I told Dean that, and he was familiar with my work. And next Wednesday, we're going to talk to him for the Canadian channel because they didn't cross over to the US. So that's what we do with that.
But yeah, I'm waving my hands a lot.
Teddy's asking, have you ever interviewed Robert?
Fleischman?
Yeah, original singer of Journey.
No. I was trying to get a few other members, but it's Steve Perry as well. It just never pans out. You know, I'm at the point where I don't think I'll ever interview Steve Perry, and it's okay. Nothing against him. I just can't get to him. I've asked a few people who know him to sort of. I've asked a few people, say, "Who's the gatekeeper? Let me know. I mean, who's the person? Just give me the name." And I've emailed his Facebook page directly, and I went, nothing against Steve. It's just like it's probably like a few other artists that I've tried that it probably won't happen. It's okay.
B40 says, is something deeper going on as to why Pat Benatar is not in the Hall of Fame?
No, it's political, but at the same time, some people have said bad things about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and got nominated. I don't think it is. You know, I know some people don't think she should be there, her and Neil, but I certainly believe she deserves to be there. She influenced a lot of female singers as a rock singer, just out there by herself, you know, little things, just amazing. I still think Pat Benatar is underrated. I think I'll probably get her and Neil one of these days, Neil Giraldo. I'd probably get a chance to sit down with them. I'd love to. Talk to Holly Knight about, you know, what Love is a Battlefield, you know. Talk to her about co-writing that song, which of course Pat Benatar recorded a few of her songs, but nothing but good things to say. Good people to work for, you know, work with.
Sierra asks, what do you think about the Beatles documentary?
I've not been able to get past 20 minutes of part one. It's just hard for me to watch it because it's hard for me to watch the demise of the band. Oh, someone. Thank Tortor.
Yes, thank you. Wishing you
nice.
And Shan the best of health and happiness. Thank you. And
That's
likewise to you too.
It's very kind.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Yeah, same back to you too. You know, it's a time of the season where, in spite of a pandemic, right, we have to look at. Everyone's thinking about money. Everyone's thinking about, you know, doing the right thing. I'm sure, even if they're doing the wrong thing, I know everyone wants to do the right thing. I think, I don't know, but it's so different this year. You know, we have my brother and my brother and his wife and my mom coming if it's safe.
And of course, the biggest thing is just being safe, right? Being smart.
You wanna do the right thing. I think next year will be even more different than this year. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see. As long as the thing is, you can live through this and actually live if you're safe, and just change your paradigm. Get, you know, I was saying this to Noel Mccalla today, the lead singer for, you know, Mike Rutherford, Small Creep State of Genesis. I was saying everyone goes on Zoom now. Every artist, there's no phone calls anymore. And I love that. It's the only good thing that came out of this, probably a few other things, that every artist does Zoom now.
And you said that too. You go, I prefer to do Zoom, right?
Yeah, I hate talking on the phone. If she's the one that talks on the phone, I can't talk on the phone and stuff. I think we're gonna wrap things up.
Yeah, definitely. One more quick one here. Randy's asking, did you watch it Get Back? Your thoughts, if so?
I can't get to past, like I said, 20 minutes of the show. It's just hard to watch the demise of this band that I cherished and loved so much. It's hard to talk to an artist without talking about 1964 and the Ed Sullivan Show. It's rare for old rockers who have 10 years on me for them not to mention that moment on the Ed Sullivan Show. You know, it's just, that's how monumental that band was. But and of course, that was just the beginning, right?
This is nice. Fraser J says, John, you're a great interviewer and the channel deserves more likes and subscribers. I watch a lot of channels like these, and this is by far one of the best ones on YouTube.
Stone.
Thank you. It means an awful lot to me.
Stone.
I mean, sometimes, I'm not going to say this is a thankless job, because it's not. We get a lot of feedback. It's great. We wish the channel was doing a little bit better, but we're not going to quit or anything. We enjoy doing it. Shannon's helping out a little bit here and there, but she's busy setting the new house up. And but it's there, you know. I mean, we're good for another 5 years. And like I said, even at 5 years, at that point when we quit, we'll have videos in the can, probably for another few years. So we're not going away anytime soon. And we do enjoy this. And I'd like to talk to as many artists as I can. Lou Graham's still on the list. I want to talk to Lou Graham. Hopefully Randy Bachman in a week. That would be great. We've got Ian Anderson probably in the new year because of the new album. We got Steve Hackett coming back in the new year. We got the Toto guys in the new year. David Paich is working on an album. So they're lining me up for that. There's just I've always wanted to talk to David Paich. He's just one of my favorite artists of all time. One of the most underrated musicians of all time. You know, crazy talented. But anyway, that was a big one. What was that one? Oh, was that it? Maybe that's it. Anyway. Shannon, you've been great. Thank you. It's been poor Shannon.
As always.
Just reading the comments. I hate, like, I'm going, what? I should have reading glasses. I never used them. I've only had reading glasses maybe a few years ago, and because I'm nearsighted anyway, but I'm glad.
And I have reading glasses, and I always say it's always exciting when you put reading glasses over your contacts. There's nothing better than that.
That's why I stopped wearing contacts, because I didn't like them in my eyes, and I had to put reading glasses on. That was crazy. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you very much.
This is good lighting. I actually look good. When I'm doing the stuff downstairs, I look like a boot. Look at the obituaries I did today. I look like a boot. It's crazy. Anyway,
nice
stay
to connect
safe.
again. Thank you so much.
Stay safe, everyone. Please just, stay safe. And we'll see you next Friday. We'll come back on and love you guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.